Welcome back, Shalligators. We're back. Every video I have to start with, I'm sorry I've been absent. I'm really gonna try to give you guys more videos because I miss YouTube. I love YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. It's almost as though this is where I should be, but I do devote a lot of my time and energy these days to the Shallontrage, our premium content, little sorority, 5 videos a week. And ladies, in honor of the spring equinox, I decided to give everyone who has not tried the Shallontrage a week for free. Yes, sign up now through the end of the weekend, so through Sunday night. Come on over, it's free. And speaking of free, my Substack is back, yay! Eat, Pray, Love is free, 2 posts a week. I blog, I rant, I share things. It's fun. Come sign up, come subscribe, got nothing to lose. Okay, let's keep talking about White Lotus. I don't know if you guys have been watching this season. I was not like a White Lotus stan whatsoever. I hated the first season and couldn't watch the second one, but I got sucked into this one because people who were like an episode or 2 deep were like, you have to watch it and do videos on these 3 girls who are characters who are on this girls trip because, oh my God, like this is a gold mine. So your girl is knee deep in White Lotus. There will be spoilers. If you haven't caught up, I think it's episode 5 that just aired on Sunday. We're going into episode 6. Are there only 6? Are there 8? I don't know. But we're going to talk about, and even if you haven't seen the show, that's totally fine. We're going to talk about how to have a good girls trip. You don't need to have seen the show to like get what I'm going to be talking about because listen, these are universal lessons and we're coming up on girls trip season, right? It's bachelorette season. It's let's get the fuck out of the winter and go to Arizona for the weekend. It's spring break. And so you might need some of these tips without even knowing that you need these tips because listen, I'm the bitch to tell you, I love a girls trip and I am a girl's girl and I know what makes a trip go right. And I know what makes them go wrong. I've spent a lot of time analyzing girls' trips that have gone both north and south. And I feel like I have figured out the exact framework to have the best possible time with the lowest drama and the highest vibes, okay? Without feeling like you were completely sacrificing your sense of self or maybe what you would want to do on a trip just to keep the peace. We're not trying to have that kind of time. So pull up a chair, get your besties on the group chat. We're going to talk it out and we're going to have the best trips ever. Speaking of trips, listen, the reason I think so much about girls' trips is because I host them. We are going to Paris and Provence May 3rd through 10th. There are, I think, 2 spaces left. It is going to be an amazing trip. I purposely kept this one small because I want it to be very intimate. I didn't want us to be this like enormous group mobbing through the streets of Paris. And I just really like smaller, intimate trips. I think they're so much fun. I know what goes into a good girls trip, okay? And one of the biggest things is not being the one to always plan them, right? When you look at your past weekend, how much fun did you have? And if you did have fun, I'm willing to bet that because we're all alpha females here, in different phases of our life, doesn't matter, the alpha is the through line, you were curating a lot of that fun, weren't you? You were packing the picnic in the park. You were making the brunch reservations and you were talking to the waitress, you know what, let's just get 2 tuna crudos. But if it looks like we need a 3rd, just go ahead and bring it. You were the one figuring out who owes what. You were the one doing the planning for so-and-so's baby shower, even though you don't know her that well. Am I right? And maybe you weren't even doing this planning for your own life. It was your husband's beer league or whatever, your kid's birthday party, a fundraiser at your job. You do enough. Wouldn't it be nice if someone else gave that to you? Wouldn't it be nice if you could turn your brain off and go on a vacation and just enjoy it? Just enjoy it. That isn't like a cruise bleh, or an all-inclusive mid, but something really beautiful and high class that you don't have anything to do. You have to pack some outfits and wear your little beret and get the angle just right. Oh. And I do everything. It's going to be a beautiful, amazing trip. We're bringing a photographer because your glow up is going to need to get documented, right? We're going to Versailles one day. We're renting bikes, electric. I'm not like a worker outer. Don't worry. And we're going to put like baguettes in the basket. Yes, we're going to have picnics at Versailles. Then we head down to Provence for 3 or 4 days. We're going to be strolling through medieval villages, lavender field, breathing in that country air. It's all just going to be so aesthetic and beautiful. Incredible restaurants, incredible hot spots, things that the tourists probably won't see because I know a ton about France. I studied abroad there. I've lived there. I speak French. I know the history. Come. You deserve to relax, right? Because let's talk about our topic now. The big problem with girls' trips is, you know, the girls, that part. So you're either on one of two kinds of trips. You're on a trip where you know everybody and you like know everyone. You know Lauren and her bullshit, and here she comes with this. Here she comes. Oh, here's Katie, big leaguing because she got up at 5 to do sunrise yoga. And just like lorded over everyone, right? And then Kiki, who like has to make sure that no check is split evenly ever because she only got the cheapest glass of wine instead of the second cheapest like everyone else. Right? So you either know everyone and their bullshit, or you're on like a bachelorette party where you might not know anyone, or you know like one girl or the bride, and then you like can't stick too close to her, and then there's other dynamics, and like, do I know these girls? Touching it back to my own trips, I have the best possible of both worlds because you don't know anyone, so you have no obligation to like hang out and be like babysitting a girl. You know, you go on a trip with your best friend and a bunch of other people, you feel like responsible for her. That's another like labor that we carry as women that's really exhausting. On mine, you don't know anyone, so you don't owe anyone anything, and if you don't like someone, by the time you figure it out, the trip is literally over and you can go home. You never have to speak to anyone again. But because everyone has the commonality of watching my channel and having the same like outlook with life, the best friendships that come out of these, I've had girls who are in each other's weddings. Like big friendships. I think because people are de-stressed because they're not fucking planning, and so they can just vibe out and relax. And I do the stress. No, I'm not stressed. So in White Lotus, the dynamic you see is 3 friends in their late 40s. I Googled how old they all are because I'm like, do they look good for their age? Yes. The answer is fuck. Yes, they do. Michelle Monaghan, who's like the lead bitch because she's an actress. Like in the show, she's like the famous actress who I guess, I don't know if she gets the whole thing comp, but she decides to take her 2 other best friends from growing up on vacation. Like they hadn't seen each other in like 4 years or something. It's like, we're getting the band back together. And we're going to go to Thailand and stay at this beautiful resort. And it's going to be like old times, right? Michelle Monaghan is 48. Later in the video, we're going to talk more about that. But I thought if you told me she was 35, I'd be like, yeah, sure. She looks great. They all look amazing. Like, good for you, bitch. Good for you. But you see this dynamic between them being like, they know each other so well, but they're also kind of like foreign to each other. And this, I call this the 4 versus a go phenomenon. One time I was watching Murder, She Wrote, as I do because I'm lame. And Jessica, the main bitch, she's like, he can't be guilty of murder. I've known him for 25 years. And her friend is like, no, Jesse, you knew him 25 years ago. They have this New England accent. There's a big difference. And that always stuck with me. You haven't known him for 25 years. You knew him 25 years ago. And that never left me because as time marches on, yeah, you have these friends and it's like, but I've known her since we were kids. No, you knew her when you were kids. You knew her when you were kids. And some friendship, no, you know them now, you knew them then. It's constant, it keeps up. Those are not the dynamics you need to worry about in a girl's trip. You need to worry about the 4, I've known her for 25 years versus ago. I knew her 25 years ago. Those are the dynamics that are tricky. And it doesn't have to be 25 years. This is the mind fuck of it, especially when you're young. Because you're growing, you're changing, you're learning, you're diversifying yourself, you're following your passion, you're course correcting, you're starting something different. Time is like hyperlapsed, right? It's like dog years. You could be 26 and to talk about someone who you knew in the dorms, it might as well be 50 years ago because you have changed so much as a person probably since then. Maybe not. Maybe you guys are so close as ever. But you think that this is something that only happens when you're older because it's like, yeah, 25 years. No, this phenomenon, 4 versus ago, is more present when you're young. Because like I said, everyone's growing, but they're all growing at different rates. Someone's ready to be a wife and you're like, I am snorting Adderall still. So, all right. Someone is settling down, you're Snapchatting your tits to people. Like you could be all over the place. Don't you love how I assume that we're the immature ones? Like, you're sending nudes and snorting Adderall. And you're like, I'm not that person, but now we know that you are. I never sent pictures of my tits. Did snort some Adderall. Anyway, You've never lived until you've experienced the shame of like blue snot. Yeah. Okay. I digress. So that's kind of what's going on with these girls on this trip. Like, yeah, they grew up together and they know each other from like a foundational level, but a lot changes. And one way you see that change is when they start talking about politics. There's one girl who's like kind of a secret Republican. She lives in Texas. She goes to church. She voted for Trump. And the other two, super liberal, like one's a New Yorker. The actress is obviously in LA. And they're like, and then they talk mad shit about her when she's not around. But the gag is they've all talked shit about each other. And this is what you see every episode. It's like Lori and Jacqueline and Ann, and the target switches. And I think you guys were telling me, watch this show because isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? It goes back to the truism, like, if you don't know any douchebags, you're the douchebag. If you've never run into a narcissist, you're the narcissist. If you're never part of like a side chat from the main group chat talking shit about someone, then you're the one that they're side chatting talking shit about. I don't know that that's true. I really hope that's not true. But this is chicks, man. This is chicks. We talk shit. We talk shit. And I think that they're... And when you find out your besties, or even your not besties, are like talking about you, oh my God, you should not feel ashamed to be very, very hurt by this, because it's like that tribal thing. It's that tribal thing that we always talk about. You feel like you are getting kicked out of the tribe, or you don't even know. That's the scary part, because you don't know if you're actually going to get kicked out of the tribe. And so it kicks up two different responses. It's, oh my God, I'm going to get kicked out of the tribe. And as we know from Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the little pyramid of needs, the very bottom, food and shelter. Right above that, social inclusion. You need a pack. It's a survival thing. It's a happiness thing. You need a pack. So this is kicking up, oh my God, am I going to get kicked out of the tribe and get gored by a fucking woolly mammoth? Also, you don't actually know if you're getting kicked out of the tribe. So this kicks in your risk machine, which is an even more base part of your brain, the amygdala, where it's just like reptile, survival, fight or flight. What is the threat here? Am I getting kicked out or am I not? Do I need to change my behavior? Do I need to ignore them? And so these two things working together, hellscape. Hellscape. And you factor in having to use those little bullshit hotel soaps that just take the worst. They destroy your hair. You factor that in. You factor that in. Maybe there's lizards. I don't know. And how do you watch White Lotus, the first scene is someone going on a shooting spree. You kind of get it. You're like, well, and this is kind of like one of the theories is like, oh, it's Lori. It's one of the girls. And she was the girl who they talk shit about first in the show, which means she's the weak link. She's the weak link where the first night, the second Lori leaves, well, did you see? Okay, did you see? Did you see though? That means they were waiting. That means they already had those bullets loaded in their gun, ready to fire. Yeah. We're going to talk more about Lori later. There's going to be some spoilers, so buckle up. I mean, if you don't care about the show, just watch it because I'll explain it and you won't need to you don't have to see it to like understand. So this is a big issue on girls' trips. This is a big issue in female friendships, is the shit talking. But let's unpack this because we're high-level bitches here. I think I am more uniquely qualified to deal with people talking shit about me because people talk shit about me almost relentlessly on the internet. Some of y'all are going to do it on this very video. As I'm saying this, you're like, that's an excellent idea. And you're just going to go nuts in the comments. Okay, I mean, there's message boards, there's Reddit threads, there's hate accounts. You know what, though? If they ain't talking about you, you ain't shit. They don't boo the nobodies, honey. Doesn't make it not hurtful. It's the tribal thing. It's the risk thing. Oh my God, are people going to try to cancel me again? Ugh. Whether this happens on the macro, like my career, or the micro in a friendship or on a girls' trip, it doesn't matter. It is fundamentally disruptive to who we are. But I bring this up with my own life because I've learned to compartmentalize it. I've learned to handle it. And if I hadn't, I would have burnt out. I'd be in some sort of Victorian England asylum. I just feel like I would have gone back in time. You know, the asylums where they just like waterboard you and then they electrocute you. Anyway, I feel like they were shaving everyone's head. They probably all had lice. I know how to compartmentalize this stuff. I accept that girls talking shit on another is simply how girls are. And this is not a knock to our gender. I'm not being like some patriarchy traitor here. We do be like this. A lot of us, we do be like this, right? And to different places, it's a spectrum. Some people are super fucking toxic and they will trash their mama. Well, usually they have a bad relationship with their mama, which is why they're like this. That's a whole other fucking video. They will stab anyone in the back, whether that person is a good guy, a bad guy, they're jealous of them, they're pitying them. It doesn't matter. No one is exempt. And then you have the people who are like, very, very rarely say something. Most of us are like somewhere in the middle. There's like someone in our life who just kind of like triggers us for some reason. For some reason. Which brings me to what we can learn about the trash talk. When I have thought or considered that like, what if my friends are on a side chat just shredding me? I have forced myself to do the exceedingly unpleasant thought exercise of, well, what do I think they're saying? What would they be saying? The first thing that comes to my mind is exactly the thing I need to work on as a human. Okay? Because what all of this is projection. Now in the show, the girls don't have to imagine, like some of them overhear it. They overhear it. And it's like, like it's super painful. But let's say they didn't, and let's say they were just like, I heard my name, like, what are they saying about me? Let's say you don't have that data, that's fine. What do you imagine they would say? Like, what is the monster under the bed? I would fucking die if they were like, oh my God, she's so fat and she like wears those crop tops. I know. And she thinks she looks good. I know. And she doesn't. That is where your mind is going because that is your sensitive spot. We don't imagine that people are talking trash on something we are very confident about, right? Like when I think about people on message boards going like berserk about a mid-level YouTuber they don't even know, I don't think, oh, they're going to say I'm stupid. I know I'm not stupid. And if they said, she's stupid, I'd be like, okay. Oh, okay. Like, it wouldn't even bother me because I know I'm not stupid. It's like saying, she is so tall. Have you seen the size of her hands? She's like Shaquille. It's not a thing, right? However, if they're like, she looks awful. She looks so old lately. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that because I am getting older, as guess what? We all are. Well, you know, my face changed a lot when I lost weight because I lost it so fast. I was on Ozempic. Nope, you know, I've always been really honest about that. But that's like a weak spot for me. Or it's like another one, like how could she be giving relationship advice? She's not even married. That's something that I feel like some type of way about, you know? But that's where my mind goes. If you spot it, you got it. So I invite you, as icky as this is, if you are thinking like they're talking about me, okay, well, what do you think they're saying? And how can you work on that in and of yourself? So let's say with me, it's like, how could she like be giving advice? She's not even married. No, I'm not. So let me fix that so that if people do say that, I'm much less triggered by it. I'm going to sit here and tell myself, no, I'm not married. I was married. And if all I wanted out of life is to be someone's wife, I could do that. I could probably do that in the next 3 months if I really wanted to. I'm actually looking for a very specific type of partner, very specific feelings. And until that person crosses my path, I'm refining myself and growing as a person and changing and doing all the work so that I am ready. So then when that amazing man comes, girl, I am ready. So no, I'm not married yet. Okay. I'm still single. Does that mean I can make no observations about this world? No, because I am not defined by whether or not I have a penis in my orbit. I'm actually a little bit more than that. And ooh, wait a minute. The people who might be saying that, maybe they are defined that way. So if they spot it, they got it. Do you see what I mean? But because I was willing to like sit with that, like, ugh, that is it's an icky thought. But then unpack it and look at the reality and be like, well, I don't feel that way about myself. And if I do, okay, now we know what to work on. I don't have to fix it right now, but now I have my marching orders. Now I know what to do and what to like put some attention towards in my life. Same if it's like, she looks so fat in those outfits. How are you feeling about your health? How are you feeling about your body? Is that something you want to give some more time and attention to? I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no. But again, if you're imagining, if the first place your mind goes is to that place, I have a feeling where there's smoke, there's fire. But it could also be the opposite. It could also be the opposite, that they're ranting about you because yes, you trigger something inside of them. Like in Montana, so many of my friends turned on me. Literally when I got thin and I stopped drinking, fucking cunts. Cool. And when like there was all this backlash when I lived there, you guys know the story, but like I did this interview, I said I loved living there. I brought too much attention on myself. I should have just kept quiet, kept sweet, stayed small. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. But my friends, several of them like sided with the mob that was like, let's go rape and kill her. I'm pretty binary about that. You're either with me or you're against me. There's no like, well, I don't know. No. If you're my friend, you're with me or you're against me. And the things I would hear them say about me, she just thinks she's so cool. I know. She's always like, oh, I was a New Yorker. First of all, that's not where my mind went. I couldn't conceive of these people talking shit about me, and they were constantly. But like, that is about them. That's about them. I'm like, I do think I'm better than you. Like, just for the fact that you're sitting here trashing someone who has been like a sister to you and been so supportive and always there for you, that is what makes me better than you, because I actually don't do that. So, you're right. Keep going. What? I'm a New Yorker? Yeah, I was. Do I think I'm cooler than you who's never left a small town? Yeah. I'm not saying I am. I'm saying I believe that I am. God will tell me once I die if that was true or not. I personally believe that I am. And again, the fact that you're so pressed about it tells me you kind of believe it too. Otherwise, it wouldn't get under your skin this bad that I've lived someplace else. The fuck do you care? Because you do. And when we look at White Lotus, one of the first things, you know, because Lori was the first chick they talked about, the New Yorker, the single mom, the like ball buster. We're going to talk about her later. They were like, you know, life is so hard there and she's just all alone. She does it on her own. Who is saying that? The Republican who is married, right? Who's like a good, like Christian wife, has a very powerful husband, whatever. And the actress who's married to a guy who literally doesn't talk to her. So what they were triggered by was the fact that Lori doesn't have a man and doesn't seem to need a man. Why that is later in the video. But that got under their skin. That got under their skin. So listen, it's going to be, when we are triggered by someone talking bad about us, it's going to be because it's true. As we perceive this in ourselves, we believe this to be true, or it's true for them. It's true for them. It might not be true for us. It is somehow very, very true and disruptive for them. So how do we engineer a better girls' trip? Okay, well, aside from coming with me online, your role on a girls' trip is twofold. Increase good vibes, decrease friction. Increase good vibes, decrease friction. How do you do this? You pick two things, okay? One thing you absolutely will not do, and one thing you absolutely must do to feel like this trip is a success, and everything else, you let it go. I know what you're gonna say. Oh, so I'm only supposed to get to be happy once on this trip? No. And hold on. I think we need to check ourselves for a minute. If you define happy as it's your way or the highway, you get to dictate. I bet you do have bad times on girls' trips. I bet you do. It's a very difficult person to be trapped in a hotel room with. Well, I don't want to do this. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, I want to do this. Blah, 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 blah. Then maybe you need to travel by yourself. And I'm not saying that in a bitchy way, but like, I travel by myself a lot because there are some times I'm like, when I go to Paris this time or when I go to Rome, I have what I want to do and I don't really want to hear anyone else's opinions. I'm going to see my friends there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have my boyfriend, whatever. I don't feel like compromising, but you have to know thyself. So here's what I mean about pick two. Have a hill to die on. And you communicate these things, not when you check into the hotel, no. Not when all the reservations are set, not when the bus is coming to pick you up for that hike up the mountain, not then. You talk about this in the group chat, possibly before anything is booked. I try to communicate my hell yes and my hell no as quickly as possible. 4 of my girlfriends, us 4, are going to Vegas. And actually, these girls we met on one of my trips, on a trip I did to Italy in 2021, 2022? I think it's 22. And we've just been besties since. And a tree branch just fell on my car. That's, okay. Are you, we're back. One of the girls, she's an influencer also, she has to go to Vegas for like this award show. She's like, fuck it, we're all going. We're like, we're all going. One of the first things I said about this was, I hate shows. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them drop dead. I won't see Cirque du Soleil. Although, Janelle, we did have a great time seeing Absinthe at your bachelorette party. I will give it to you. That was really fun. Could have been half as long, but I did love it. I don't like musicals. I don't like shows. I'm even kind of like, about concerts unless I love, 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 love the artist. So I said, I will not go to a show. But this is the crucial part, okay? Because you can't just think, no! You have to follow that hill that you're dying on with, but you guys have my full permission to go and do this. I'm not gonna do sunrise yoga, but it's all you. And listen, bitch, you gotta mean it. You can't be like, well, I guess you did do sunrise yoga after you saw Cirque du Soleil. Like you cannot be the bitter bunny about it. You have to die on your hill, but accept that there's gonna be consequences. And the consequence, if everyone's like, okay, well, we really wanna see the Michael Jackson and Cirque du Soleil, is you might have to have dinner alone. You might have to like do a little photo shoot in the hotel or sit and read or take a bubble bath or go to the spa. You're gonna have to look after you for this time when the tribe has cast you out. Because sometimes it can feel that way. If you're saying this hell no with this, and you gotta be real deal honest with yourself, with this subtext of like, well, they should have all just said, oh, we don't wanna go, but no. They're like, okay, we'll catch up with you after. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Can I believe it? What? Yeah, I can believe that people who are spending also their money on their own vacation, their own time away from their own lives, want to do what they want to do. Yeah, that's weird. I can believe that. What I cannot believe is that would be a real point of contention for you. Everyone should be doing what they want. Now, there's an exception if you're like, it's your bachelorette and everyone's like, we don't really feel like going to dinner. We're just going to stay in, but have fun. Wear white. Love you. Mean it. That, there's like obviously exceptions to these things, but we're talking about just like a general girls trip. For them to believe you, this isn't a bluff. This is, hey, I don't want to do it. Godspeed. I will watch everyone's purses while you go to whatever. Have a great time. Okay? And you know what? It's nice to be on your own for like a few hours because it's probably all it's going to amount to. Then you come up with your hell yes. And I want you to put this out to everyone. Be like, hey, everyone drop in the chats one thing you're like, absolutely fucking not. And you could all be on the same page. With the Vegas thing and the shows, I thought they were going to be like, oh no, we really want to see the show. Every single girl was like, I fucking hate shows. And I was like, amazing. I'm so glad we're on the same page. And I don't feel like I was forcing anyone to do anything. Amazing. So put that out there. What's your hell no? And then say, girls, let's everyone complete this question. I will know this trip was a success if, blah, 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 blah. And you would be surprised what the answers are. Sometimes it's just if I lay in the sun and I have a margarita. That's the only thing I gotta do. I gotta have 4 hours in the sun and I gotta have a margarita. And like, Bethany's fucking cool. She's check. She's great. If some other girl's like, I have to make out. If I don't cheat on Doug, I'm gonna kill myself. Someone else might need to be me. I really need to take some good pictures. Okay, cool. And see what this composite sketch of the trip is now gonna look like. Is it like, all right, 3 girls wanna go to the spa, 2 wanna take pictures. Let's have Thursday morning be about that. You guys go spa, we'll take pictures, we'll meet in the middle for lunch, break. Because this is how you plan, right? This is actually how you come up with an outline for what the trip is going to be like. And until you share, and if you're afraid to share this, why are y'all going? Like if you're afraid to be like, hey, I really hate doing these things, or oh, I have to see the Louvre. You guys can literally come for an hour if you want to. I will stay there another 6 hours and I'll meet you for dinner because I gotta nerd out. The whole point of these trips is to feel like our best self, right? Because that's what our friends give us. These wonderful bonding times, you know, getting back to who you are. And I'm sure these girls in White Lotus are at a certain age. They're like, I don't know, is that when menopause happens around? I don't know. They're at an age where they're maybe feeling like beauty could be slipping away. There's a scene, doesn't give away anything, where they're recommended to go to this like beach club and it's full of old people. And the main chick, the actress, she comes stalking back. She's like, why the fuck did you tell us to go there? It was all old people. And the implication was they thought we're old. You think we're old? You think that's us? And that's like, was a very difficult thing, right? And so the reason those girls had this trip is to reconnect with who they were as girls, not just women, like who they were in their youth. They wanted like those feelings back. Like, let me get back to my little girl self, to my high school self, when life was ahead of me and my skin was nothing but collagen and my nipples were chef's kiss perfect, right? And that's what we're all kind of looking for on a girl's trip. Take us back to that summer we all studied abroad together, right? Take us back to senior year in the sorority house. Take us back to this, take us back to that. But the fact is, you can't go back. You can still get those good vibes, but vibes of any kind of positive, healthy relationship is almost always rooted in communication. And again, if you don't feel like you can say these things, like, oh my God, Lori's gonna flip the fuck out if we say, then maybe this isn't the right thing. And maybe that ship has sailed, and maybe this is a case of 4 versus a go. We loved Lori in high school. We don't jive now. Another thing I want you to do on this trip, this is number 2. So the first was a hell yes and a hell no. Number 2, communicate financial expectations. Be like, hey, I will not be happy if dinner costs over $200 a person at night. Anything under that, I'm chill. I really don't want to spend more than $500 a night on a hotel room. This is what I always say, I need my own bed. I will share a room, I cannot share a bed. Even if I'm sleeping on a couch, fine. I'd rather share a couch than a king bed. I just can't do it. And again, I say this up front before anything's booked. And sometimes I've been like, I will get my own hotel room. Like I'll get a room on the same floor. I'm gonna need to sleep, blah, 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 blah. But communicating financial expectation and making sure you're all on the same page with that is huge, because money is it's a killer. It can be a real fucking killer, right? When you think, because you assume you're all on the same page. Maybe you're not. And again, like, sorry, but this is why I love my trips, is because that's like a non-issue. It's paid up front, everything's included. You're not having one person like freaking out over the price of oysters. It's like, it's a done deal. You don't have to, right? And because you don't know everyone, again, there's not that like ownership and responsibility you have for someone's feelings. You can just, it's just so much less stress. Anyway, so communicate financial expectations. Number 3, pick an off-limit topic if you feel like you need one. So another big aspect of this White Lotus girls thing is the politics. They were just shredding their Republican friend. And she was like, I think she heard them and she was like, oh my God. I personally, I'm very moderate. You know, I've never voted Republican a day in my life, but I'm very moderate. And this is how I see my liberal friends, of this like liberal echo chamber where they cannot fathom that other people vote differently and are still to be considered sane. What? Listen, girl, fucking grow up. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, please understand that people have differing opinions. And if this is where you're coming to like workshop your little peccadillos and need everyone to be in lockstep, again, perhaps a group trip is not for you. Perhaps a group trip is not for you, or you need to make real sure that you're only traveling with people who 100% agree with you. I personally find that sad. I can be around a lot of different kinds of people. Even if I 1,000,000,000% disagree with them, I don't always need to die on that hill. But let's say that you do. Okay, I feel like I'm turning you off right now, but just please hear me out. If there is something where you guys know you disagree about it, whether it's, hey, I know Caitlin's boyfriend Jeff he's a divisive figure. Hannah, I know you were in their wedding. Becca, I know you could scratch his eyes out. How about we just make a pact? We don't bring up Jeff. Okay. And if she brings up Jeff, we're all just like, yeah, like this isn't like the Jeff intervention zone. Okay. Get everyone on the same page. And maybe even do it with politics. Like, hey girls, I know we probably agree on most things. Say that, because that's always a nice, like, diplomatic thing to say, a diplomatic assumption to make. Because if you're friends, you probably do. I know we agree on most things politically, but just to keep the vibes high, because that's our role on a girls trip, let's just not discuss the election or Ukraine or Israel-Palestine or whatever you think might come up. Even if it's something you have no dog in this fight, if you think that it coming up would be a vibe killer, because this is a Republican, this is a Democrat, holy shit, if they go head to head, this is going to be a vibe killer. You might be in the middle like me. Say it up front. Be like, listen, we got a bunch of different opinions here on the topics of X, Y, Z. Let's just make this the no-fly zone. Let's not bring it up at all, okay? Can we all just agree to that? Because again, if you have someone who's like, no, I want to talk about Israel-Palestine. No, I want to talk about blah, blah, blah. Wouldn't you rather know that they're coming in with like an agenda before y'all put money down for flights and hotels? I would have great pause if someone was like, no, the one request you are making in service of peace, I categorically reject. And again, this doesn't have to be about politics. This could be about anything. Like, hey, we're not going to ask Diane whether or not she wants to have kids. We're just not going to ask. No, I think we should talk to her about it. I think she should. Because again, goal of girls trip, high vibes, low friction. And that's going to mean, no, you don't always say exactly what's on your mind 24 hours a day. You are zipping the lip in service of the vibes, And here's a bonus thing you're going to do, okay? One last. You're going to have your little corner of real estate in terms of contributing for the trip, okay? What I like to say when I travel with my girlfriends is I plan nothing, but what I bring to the table is pure compliance. Okay? Pure compliance. Oh, we want to go to tapas? Great. I don't like tapas, but I did no planning, so I will say nothing. Oh, we want to get up at 8? Great. We want to go to bed at 10? Cool. If I am like, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the knowledge to help plan, I will bring to you slavish obedience. Okay? Or task me with something. Hey, I don't have the get up and go to like research the best restaurants in Morocco. Tell me what I can do. You know what I can do? I can bring the gift bags. I'm going to make totes for all of us. I'm going to sort out our transportation from the airport. I'm going to research the weather and come up with a packing list. Like, figure out what you can do to contribute, because the last thing you want, is the mistake a lot of us make, where you let the type A bitch, do all the planning, and oh boy, is she a martyr through the entire trip. And then she keeps micromanaging, and if you're like, back off, she's like, oh, that's interesting. You didn't want me to back off when I was choosing the hotel, I was sorting out the Ubers, I was making all the reservations that were going to be sold out if we'd left it up to you. No. That I was allowed to do. But now that I'm like, you guys, you have to go. Now I'm an asshole. You know who that person usually is on a trip? Girl, I bet it's sometimes you. Because you're an alpha female. And this is the downside to being an alpha. And this is why I do my trip. So again, you don't have to do this. You don't have to be this person. Where you walk in, it's like, well, I guess no one else is making the decorations for a birthday. I guess I'm the only one bringing the penis straws for the bachelorette. Yeah, no, I will come with a suitcase full of cocks. I'll just be on Etsy spending $10,000 because it needs to be special. That's me. I am 100% that girl. I hate myself for it, and I do it so that I can be ranty and victim-y. I do. Because ranting is part of a victim narrative, and I do it. You guys, I do it. It's so gross. It's so gross. And there's times when it's warranted. Like, if it's someone's bachelorette, you want it to be fun. And if it costs you a few $100 and a few extra hours, it's worth it. They get one. You get one in a lifetime, right? If there's one 40th birthday, there's one 21st birthday. Like, sometimes it's worth it. And sometimes it's like, why are you doing this? Sometimes you got to default to the Mel Robbins book, which we're talking tons about in the Shallontrage, which is let them. Let them. Okay? No one wanted to make a reservation. No one could decide Thai food or Japanese and wouldn't give me an answer. Then I guess we're not having a reservation. Or I pick, it's Thai, you don't like it, you didn't contribute, whatever, shut the fuck up. Or, yeah, no one booked an Uber, well, I did, and I can only take 2 other people. So I will let you figure out your own transportation. You didn't get your seats with the rest of us? Okay. Just let go. Let go. It is better, hear this, it is better to have a mini disaster once, one meal, one seats that are apart, one Uber that takes a little too long. It is better to have that than an entire trip of you being resentful. 100 billion %. Think of it in reverse. If you have the friend who's like super OCD about everything, and you're just like, but we won't get to see like the fire dancers. And you're like, it's fine. I would rather get drunk at the beach club, see where the night takes us. If we don't see the fucking fire dancers at the luau, fine. Wouldn't you rather have that person stand down and maybe miss the fire show, but not be like resentful and super controlling the whole trip? Yeah. And then this goes back to, girl, if you are like, we have to see the fire show, you go see it. And don't go resentful, slithering away like a bitter little snake. Be like, hey, I get that you guys just kind of want to see where the night takes you. My night is going to take me to the fire show. So I'm going to get a ticket. I'm going to buy it in the next hour. Respond to the group chat if you want me to get you one. Otherwise, we can do our own thing for 2 hours. And take off that victim narrative. Slough it off. Wriggle it out. Wriggle on out of it, bitch. It's easier than you think. Okay. Girls' trips are amazing, but I gotta say, they're better with me. So come to Paris, only 2 slots left. May 3rd through 10th, it is going to be luxury. You deserve this. You deserve this. There's nothing more fun than like getting ready together to go out, right? And like helping each other take pictures and pick outfits. It's just the best parts of a girls' trip with none of the bullshit, honestly. It's amazing. Like, girls cry when they leave my trips. They cry and they hug each other. It's like, we're just like a band of sisters by the end. It's amazing. I'm so excited. If I didn't like them, I would not do them. They're not very lucrative, but I just love to do them. I love to be with you guys. And I think that you guys like them too. So click the link to sign up below. And if you want even more sisterhood, like I said, join the Shallontrage and get a week free for now until Sunday night. I am opening it up. You get a week free for new subscribers. Come check it out. See what it's about. Binge the videos. You can binge all my previous courses, Evil Week, my hookup tutorial, Valentine's Day, everything. Be part of the group chats. Yeah, just see what it's about. See if it's your vibe. And speaking of free, my Substack is back. Eat, Pray, Love is free. Subscribe. It's 2 posts a week. I miss writing and I'm so happy to be back. All right, girls, we're gonna be back next time with the second half of this video on Girl Code. It's gonna be spoilers from White Lotus. So go ahead and binge and catch up, and I'll see you back here next time. Mwah!